As we enter our 60s and beyond, something changes inside us. Our priorities shift, our hearts soften, and the weight of old pain becomes harder to carry. In this deeply comforting and eye-opening video, we explore why forgiveness becomes one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself later in life. You'll discover why letting go of resentment isn't weakness, but freedom, why old wounds resurface as we age, and how forgiveness can restore peace, deepen relationships, and transform the way you feel every single day. Through gentle stories, emotional insights, and practical steps, you'll learn how to lighten your heart and reclaim joy. No matter what you've been through, if this video helps you find clarity or healing, please like, subscribe, and share support more viewers on their journey toward inner peace. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever noticed how, as you grow older, certain memories suddenly feel heavier, even though they happened decades ago? A hurtful comment, a broken promise, a betrayal you never fully understood, a relationship that slowly slipped away. Sometimes, it's not the big moments that stay with us. It's the quiet ones, the ones no one else even remembers, but you do. And now, after 60, you might find yourself looking back and thinking, why does this still hurt? Why can't I let this go? Why am I still carrying this? Here's the truth nobody talks about. Forgiveness becomes more important and more powerful after 60 than at any other time in life. Not because we're weak, not because we're trying to make peace before the end, but because our hearts finally understand what truly matters and what never did. Today, we're going to explore why forgiveness after 60 is the secret to inner peace, and how letting go can change your life in ways you never imagined. 1. Because the weight of old pain feels heavier with time. When you're young, you're busy. Work, children, bills, responsibilities. Life distracts you from emotional pain. But after 60, especially after retirement, the noise quiets down, your body slows, your schedule softens, and old wounds rise to the surface. Take Linda, a 68-year-old widow. For most of her adult life, she held a quiet resentment toward her sister for something that happened when they were teenagers, a betrayal she never forgot. For years, she told herself she had moved on. But after her husband passed away, the loneliness made the old hurt sharper. Every quiet morning, every silent evening, the same thought returned. Why did she do that to me? One day, Linda called her sister, not to reopen the past, but to release herself from it. She said, "I don't want to carry this anymore. I want peace." And for the first time in decades, she felt a weight lift. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself from carrying the same pain for the rest of your life. 2. Forgiveness heals your health, mind, body, and spirit. Many people don't realize how deeply emotional burdens affect the body. Tension becomes chronic pain. Bitterness becomes exhaustion. Resentment becomes stress that sits in the chest like a brick. Doctors often say stress is silent, invisible, and dangerous, and unforgiveness is one of its most powerful sources. Let's look at James, a 72-year-old retired firefighter. He spent years angry at his ex-wife for the way their marriage ended. His anger followed him everywhere, into his sleep, his conversations, even his hobbies. He was always tense, always on edge. When he finally worked with a counselor who asked him, "Do you want peace more than you want to be right?" something clicked. Choosing forgiveness didn't change the past, but it changed his posture, his sleep, his breathing, even his relationships with his children. Forgiveness isn't something you give to others. It's a form of medicine you give to your own heart. 3. Forgiveness helps you strengthen relationships while there's still time. After 60, the truth becomes painfully clear. Time is finite. Opportunities to reconnect shrink. Chances to say "I'm sorry" or "I forgive you" don't last forever. Many older adults confess their biggest regret is not fixing a relationship, while they still could. Margaret, 74, shared that she hadn't spoken to her son in 11 years because of a disagreement about money. Both of them were hurt. Both of them felt right. Both of them waited for the other to call first. One day, she heard he was going through a divorce. Without thinking, she picked up the phone and said, "I don't care what happened years ago. I'm your mother and I love you." He broke down crying. He had been waiting for her call for years. Forgiveness often takes only a few words, but those words can heal a decade of silence. 4. Forgiveness frees you from the illusion that the past can be changed. Many people carry resentment because they're still replaying moments they wish had gone differently. I should have spoken up. They shouldn't have treated me that way. It wasn't fair. It shouldn't have happened. And they're right, it wasn't fair. It shouldn't have happened. They did hurt you. But here's the reality. The past is already written. You cannot rewrite it, but you can release yourself from being controlled by it. Think about Robert, a 66-year-old grandfather who spent most of his adult life angry at his father for being strict, cold, and emotionally distant. His father passed away before they ever had a healing conversation. For years, Robert believed it was too late. But forgiveness isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's a decision you make quietly, privately, in your own heart. One afternoon, Robert visited his father's grave. He whispered, "I forgive you. I understand now." And in that moment, the years of pain softened. Forgiveness is accepting that the past cannot be changed, but your future still can. 5. Forgiveness helps you protect your peace as you age. Peace becomes essential after 60. You no longer want chaos. You no longer want conflict. You no longer want drama that drains your energy and your joy. Forgiveness is not about reunion. It's not about pretending nothing happened. It's not about letting people walk over you. It's about creating space for peace in your heart. Consider Elaine, 70, who forgave her daughter-in-law for always being distant and cold. She didn't forgive to repair the relationship. That part stayed the same. She forgave so she could stop replaying every hurtful moment in her mind. She says, "Forgiveness gave me permission to stop being angry." Letting go doesn't always heal the relationship, but it always heals you. 6. Forgiving yourself is the most powerful act of all. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is the one staring back at you in the mirror. You may still carry guilt from a parenting mistake, a failed marriage, a bad decision, words you regret, something you didn't do when you should have. But here's the truth. You did the best you could with the knowledge, resources, and strength you had at the time. No one reaches 60 without scars. No one goes through life without mistakes. No one becomes wise without surviving moments they aren't proud of. Self-forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about saying, "I am human. I learned. I grew. I deserve peace too." Take a breath. Place a hand on your heart. And remind yourself, you are allowed to forgive yourself. If you've been carrying pain for many years, if you've held on to resentment because letting go felt impossible, if you've been waiting for an apology that never came, please hear this. Forgiveness is not something you give to someone else. It is a gift you give to yourself. You deserve peace. You deserve rest. You deserve the freedom to enjoy the years ahead without the weight of yesterday dragging behind you. Now I want to know, which part of this message touched you the most? Is there someone, or even yourself, whom you feel ready to forgive? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story may be the encouragement someone else needs. If this video brought you comfort, clarity, or healing, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this reminder today. Forgiveness is freedom, and you deserve to be free.